Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody opinion of you determine yourself.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your dude Lorenzo coming to you with another Let That Marinate podcast. I want to welcome y'all to a new episode. Man, feeling good, feeling great, man. Got up this morning, man, in good spirits. It's a blessing to always be able to wake up, but it's even more of a blessing when you wake up and you're in the right spirit, you're in the right headspace. You know what I mean? So thank God for that. Uh, had my first therapy session, in a while. It went great. Went It was amazing. So thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? Black man putting in the work to heal. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I hope everybody is doing good. I hope everybody um, has had an amazing day thus far. You know, it's like I said, man, it's just good to to just be one of the ones to say that they made it because millions didn't. So that's what it is, man. But let's get into it, man. I wanted to touch on something that, man, this story bothered me. This story bothered me. So the latest story that's out right now, there's a guy by the name of Teddy Bridgewater. He's a former NFL quarterback, um, who I thought had a pretty decent year, but unfortunately, he ended up retiring, due to injuries and I think he sustained a significant injury that just never he was just never ever to like really bounce back from. And it's unfortunate because the man is only 32. You know what I'm saying? So his career was cut short, because of that. And it's a lot of players, that's happened to, like RG3. RG3 was an amazing quarterback in college. And when he got to the NFL, he made some noise, but that knee injury that he sustained kept him out for a while, and he just wasn't able to fully recover. So we're gonna talk about RG3 another day. So let's get back to Teddy Bridgewater. So anyway, Teddy Bridgewater is now, after retirement, he went on to become a high school coach for his alma mater, Miami Northwestern. Right, his first year, phenomenal season. Team went undefeated, and then go on to win the state championship. Doesn't get any better than that, right? Here's the thing. It seems that his high school coaching career is about to get cut short also. Why? Because the school decides to suspend him. Here's why. They're calling it impermissible benefits. So, the impermissible benefits were um, $14,000 for training camp, uh, over $2,000 in pregame meals, over $1,000 in athletic recovery services, and over $700 in Uber rides. All of this was coming out of his pocket, by the way. Let's put that out there. He was funding all this. Now, I'm just curious. So we are now punishing people for doing the right thing, for wanting to do right by the kids, for wanting to help the community, for wanting to, you know, uh, help the kids succeed in life. We're being punished for that now. Are you kidding me? This man, you know, first of all, let's for me, when I heard the story, of course, I needed the backstory, right? And the backstory is Teddy Bridgewater actually asked for people to help donate to his foundation so he can help, you know, help these kids with training camp and everything that they need, recovery meals, whatever, right? Now the Uber rides part, to me, I felt like he did that out of the kindness of his own heart. Why? Because I feel like, there may have been some students who doesn't have the luxury of getting a ride and, isn't able to get around and, things of that nature, because of some, unforeseen circumstances. I don't really know the situation. All I know is Teddy Bridgewater was trying to help. That's it. He was just simply trying to help. Now, my thing is, why is he being punished for wanting to help? Why is he being punished for doing something that he was asking the community to do? First of all, why isn't the school trying to help with that though? And I get it. There's a lot of people who works for the educational system. I'm pretty sure, they're going to say, well, he deserved to get suspended because he violated school policy. But I feel like that's the problem. That is the issue. Because you have kids who obviously, they want to they want to do better in life. They want to succeed. They want to be successful. They want to, you know, accomplish something. They want to get out of their circumstances. They want to help their family get out of their circumstances. However, it's like we see stuff like this going on with our kids, yet we don't want to put forth the effort to helping these kids gotta get out of these situations, right? And with the educational system, like I get it. A lot of y'all, some of y'all just there to get a check. Y'all just there to do your job or whatever. And you feel like your job isn't to like, really help the kids. Okay, that's fine. But there are some educators out there who really cares about the kids, right? Who really cares about their well-being, who really cares about what they have going on with their personal life, right? Because these are kids, right? These are kids. These are kids who can't help their circumstances, right? All they can do is just be kids. All they can do is just, you know, uh, they wake up in the morning, go to school, do what they're supposed to do in school. If a kid is in athletics, they go. And here's the thing, because I can speak on this for myself. When I got involved with athletics back in high school, I did it because it was just a way for me to escape, right? It was just a way for me to, you know, feel good about myself. You know what I mean? And I was pretty good. I didn't go all the way with it, because transparent moment. I ended up quitting school, right? Um, so, but that's the thing, right? I ended up quitting school because I didn't feel motivated. I didn't feel like I got tired of certain things happening to me, and I got tired of just you know like it was just a lot of things that just had my mind just all over the place about it, and I just couldn't focus. Right? I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't focus. So yeah, I ended up quitting. You know, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. If I'd have had somebody like Teddy Bridgewater, if I'd have had somebody who you know were to try to inspire me and motivate me to keep going, if I had somebody in my life to, be that guidance for me, maybe I would have stayed in school. Maybe I would have stayed in high school and finished and, continue with my athletics and continue to, because at one point, yeah, I was doing well in school. I was an honor roll student. I was an honor roll student. I did great when I played football. Uh, tried out for the baseball team. Did good with that. So it's not like I didn't have the potential, to be, you know, a great athlete or to be a great, academic individual. It's just that during that time, my mind was just, it was just hard for me to focus. It was just hard for me to focus. But had I had somebody like a Teddy Bridgewater, right? Maybe that would have made the difference. That would have made a whole lot of difference. And it's just sad that people like Teddy Bridgewater has to be punished for doing the right thing. It's sad, man. It's sad that Teddy Bridgewater is being punished for simply because he didn't do anything wrong. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care about the school policy. I don't care about none of that. Teddy Bridgewater did nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, Teddy Bridgewater, he went about it the right way, you know, as far as school policy. He went about it the right way and it didn't work. It didn't work. So what Teddy Bridgewater decided to do was take it upon himself Okay, well, if nobody else is going to do it, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to look out for these kids. I'm going to make sure that these kids get what they need to succeed. This ain't about the school. This ain't about, none of that. This is about the kids, right? So the fact that Teddy Bridgewater decided to come out of pocket to fund all this says a lot about Teddy Bridgewater. It says he really cares. It says, because he could have easily said, okay, well, if, you know, hey, we're just going to have to, just settle for what we got. We just got to, you know, we just got to deal with what it is. I can't get no help. So, it is what it is. But Teddy decided to say, you know what? I ain't going out like that. I'm not going to let these kids go out like that. These kids deserve better. So Teddy Bridgewater decided to, take it upon himself to make sure that these kids, right? He wanted to make sure that these kids are set up to succeed. Because if you're going to play, first of all, playing football, understand something. That's a lot of physical. That's a lot of physical work. That's a lot of, like, you're out on the football field, right? You're out on the football field. You're practicing. You're in pads. It's hot. You know what I mean? And you're constantly going and going and going. You know, like you're not gonna stop until you get a certain play right. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a lot of work on the body, a lot of wear and tear on the body, right? So you have to make sure that you hydrate. You have to make sure that you're in the right physical condition to go through all that. You know what I'm saying? And Teddy Bridgewater was trying to ensure that these kids was, you know, he made sure that he took care of these kids, basically, right? So now my thing is this: now that Teddy Bridgewater is suspended, who's going to do the job that Teddy Bridgewater did? Who's gonna go in there and make sure that these kids are taken care of? I'm not talking about coaching. I'm not talking about that, because you can bring in another coach, right? You may not, and that coach may not have the same phenomenal season that Teddy Bridgewater did, but who's going to take care of these kids the way that Teddy Bridgewater did, right? Like, nobody's going to, like, they can bring in somebody else for the job, right? And all they're there to do is the job. That's it. So chances are, if they bring in a new head coach, um, he's not going to be willing to sacrifice. He's not going to be willing to, put in the labor and put in the work that Teddy Bridgewater did. He's not. He's. Chances are he's just going to be there just because he got paid to do it. He's hired to do the job. That's it. But we're talking about taking care of these kids. We're not we're not talking about taking care of football players. We're talking about taking care of kids, because these kids they may be in an environment that's hard, and you know their parents are working hard to try to take care of them and make sure that they have everything that they need, but the parents may not have it all together. They may not have everything that they need to like really provide. You know what I mean? And I'm just throwing it out there because they said that you know Teddy Bridgewater provided money for Uber rides, right? So that means, maybe he had these kids practicing late, and he wanted to make sure that they got home, make sure that they got home safe, right? So my thing is, Teddy Bridgewater, he was making sure that he did right by these kids, but he's being punished for it, and I think it's crazy. I think that is so dumb, and it's sad. It's sad that we live in a world where a man gets punished for just simply doing right by the kids. Makes no sense to me. So, social media, of course, is saying that there are a lot of fans who are outraged by this, and I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I am very outraged, and I stand with Teddy Bridgewater. I stand with Teddy Bridgewater. I hope he bounces back from this. I'm pretty sure that he's going to get other opportunities. Maybe they'll bring him back. Who knows? Maybe they'll do something different. Who knows? All I know is Teddy Bridgewater. He will be successful. He's going to be all right. Moving forward, he's going to be okay. I really think that something great is going to happen for Teddy Bridgewater because of what he did. So I'm not all that concerned. I am somewhat pissed because I thought that was stupid to suspend this man for just simply wanting to do right by the kids. So, but it is what it is. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be good. He's going to be all right. He's going to be fine. You know, bigger opportunities is coming his way. I believe that. I believe that for sure. Anyway, that's my time for the day. Hey, man, thank y'all once again for checking out my podcast. Thank y'all once again for the support. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Salute. Let that marinate.
Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody opinion of you determine your